2 minutes ago, Caitlin Clark dropped a bombshell that could end her WNBA career. The shocking truth will leave you stunned. When Caitlin Clark stepped into that boardroom, she didn't need anyone to tell her the air was different. Something was wrong. The woman who turned women's basketball into must-watch TV now faces a choice that could undo everything she's built. This breaking point didn't come on the court. It happened in closed-door meetings, where promises were shattered and trust was ripped away. Now, sources say Clark is seriously considering walking away from the very league she put on the map. If she leaves, the WNBA loses its brightest star, its biggest draw, and the heartbeat of the Indiana Fever. Millions in revenue could vanish. Fans could turn away in frustration. And one of the most remarkable chapters in women's sports could end far too soon, because even legends have their breaking point, and Clark might be at hers.
Wearing number 22, Caitlin Clark.
Caitlin Clark's rookie season has been nothing short of game-changing. She's averaging 19 points, 8 for assists, and 5.7 rebounds, leading the Fever to their first playoff berth since 2016. But the numbers only scratch the surface of her impact. Since Clark was drafted, Indiana's season ticket sales have jumped over 400%, forcing a move from small arenas to consistently sold-out games at Gainbridge Fieldhouse. Her games draw over 1 million TV viewers, sometimes more than 2 million, setting records for women's basketball broadcasts. Her rival has brought in new corporate sponsors, boosted merchandise sales, and lifted TV ratings across the league. The WNBA's economic growth has never seen anything like it. That's why the idea of Clark walking away would be devastating, not just for the Fever, but for the entire league. Still, the jump from college freedom to the high-pressure, business-driven world of pro sports brings challenges most players never face, especially at her level of fame.
The Caitlin Clark effect. Thank you very much.
The WNBA's pay system leaves even its biggest stars earning far less than their worth. The highest salary in the league is about $230. A fraction of what Caitlin Clark could make based on her popularity and the revenue she generates, which some experts say could reach millions each year under her rookie contract. Clark is locked in with the Indiana Fever. Standard WNBA rules include team options and restricted free agency, making it hard for players to switch teams. Even if she's unhappy, her choices are limited compared to athletes in other major leagues. These pay and contract rules were set before Clark joined the league. Before her impact on ticket sales, TV ratings, and league growth became impossible to ignore. Experts point out that when a player's real market value is far higher than their paycheck, difficult decisions often follow, and for Clark, it's about more than just the money. Life in pro basketball comes with more than just tough games. The constant media spotlight adds a pressure few athletes ever experience. Every performance, interview, and comment is picked apart, and over time, that kind of attention can take its toll. Outside the US, some women's leagues offer a very different experience and a better paycheck. Teams in places like Turkey, Russia, and Spain are willing to pay far more than the WNBA maximum, making them attractive to players who want bigger earnings and a break from the intense US media focus. These overseas leagues don't just pay better, many cover housing, travel, and other expenses, making daily life much easier while still offering high-level competition. Australia's Women's National Basketball League is another appealing choice, with strong salaries, excellent facilities, and a season that fits perfectly into the WNBA off-season. With its strong reputation and commitment to women's basketball, the league overseas is an attractive option for top players. For someone like Caitlin Clark, whose fame and marketing pull reach worldwide, international teams could be willing to pay far beyond WNBA limits. Her ability to fill arenas and drive ticket sales would make her a valuable investment for any league looking to boost its profile. There's also another path, leaving pro basketball altogether. Some athletes take this step when the game no longer matches their personal goals. With her intelligence, communication skills, and business savvy, Clark could succeed in many areas, from launching her own ventures to working in sports media, where her knowledge and personality could quickly make her a favorite on-air voice.
Can they win the WNBA championship?
They have a lot to prove, but I am putting them in the conversation of contenders.
Clark's knowledge of the game and natural charisma make her a strong candidate for TV, streaming, and other media platforms searching for authentic voices in women's sports. She could also use her personal brand to build lasting success in business, from starting her own ventures to supporting youth programs, athletic training centers, or sports technology projects. Coaching or player development is another path, where her skill and leadership could help guide the next generation of players. But being the WNBA's top star comes with more than fame. It brings constant pressure. Clark is more than an athlete. She's the face of women's basketball, a role that carries responsibilities well beyond the court. That raises the question of whether the Indiana Fever's leadership and team culture fit her vision for her career and life. In the end, strong relationships with teammates, coaches, and management are key to a player's long-term happiness and success. For Clark, the Fever's rapid rise since she joined may have shifted the team's atmosphere, affecting both her comfort and long-term plans. Balancing individual stardom with team success is always a challenge, especially when one player attracts most of the attention and revenue. Maintaining harmony takes not just personal leadership, but also strong support from the organization. League policies on pay, working conditions, and player development also influence how top athletes view their future in the WNBA. Clark's opinion of the league's leadership and direction could heavily impact her decision to stay. Women's sports have expanded quickly during her career, with more media coverage, sponsorships, and respect than ever before. At the same time, social media has given athletes like Clark new ways to grow their brands and earn income outside the traditional team and league structure. Her massive online following gives her the flexibility to consider career paths beyond professional basketball. With more money pouring into women's sports than ever, today's top female athletes have more options and bargaining power than previous generations. Endorsement deals and brand partnerships have also grown, often paying far more than a WNBA salary. For Clark, these opportunities could give her the financial freedom to be less dependent on league earnings. Her career might even set a new example for how elite women athletes can turn skill and popularity into long-term success, breaking past the limits of current pay systems. But being the face of a sport carries a unique kind of pressure. Every move Clark makes and every game she plays is seen as a reflection of where women's basketball is headed.
Things tend to get skewed also by her star power, but she has a real...
Being the face of women's sports is about far more than what happens on the court. For Clark, it means constant public appearances, endless interviews, and the pressure of knowing every word and action will be dissected. For a player who wants to focus on basketball and personal growth, these extra responsibilities can become draining. Her career choices aren't just about contracts or championships. They're about family, friends, and the support system that keeps her grounded. Timing also plays a huge role. Athletes often make big moves when they feel personally ready, not just professionally positioned. Financial security, personal goals, and family priorities all blend into a decision-making process the public rarely sees. Legal experts point out that the WNBA's restrictive contracts and low salary cap could face challenges, especially when players like Clark clearly generate far more than they earn. Her success fuels the push for fair pay and stronger player rights. At the same time, the booming media and entertainment industries are offering women sports stars more creative freedom, bigger paychecks, and the power to control their own story, something the traditional league structure can't always match.
One thing about Caitlin Clark, whether you're cheering for her, whether you're cheering for the dream, she signs a ton of autographs.
Technology companies and startups in sports, fitness, and women's empowerment are growing fast. And athletes like Caitlin Clark have the skills and credibility to succeed in these spaces. With her basketball expertise and influence across women's sports, she could easily step into tech-focused projects that shape the future of the game. The next few years will be critical for women's pro sports. How leagues, players, and business partners respond to superstars like Clark will shape the sport's future. Losing her wouldn't just be about losing one player. It would expose bigger questions about how the WNBA can keep top talent in a competitive global market. The question now is simple: can the WNBA update its pay and player rules quickly enough to keep generational stars, or will they look elsewhere for better pay, freedom, and career opportunities? If you care about women's basketball, hit like and share your thoughts below. Should the WNBA raise salaries to keep players like Clark? If you were in her place, what would you do? Subscribe and turn on notifications. This is a story that could change the game forever.